Waz D Scene, people? This is Machel and this is another episode of Waz D Scene. And today I'll be talking about the latest feature film from director Todd Kessler. It's being released by Serafini, releasing Indie Pelago Films and Monk Pictures. Of course, I'm talking about the much highly anticipated romance/musical/comedy film Bazodee. Now, this movie stars British actress Natalie Perera, along with veteran Indian actor Kabir Bedi. We also have Chris Smith, Cindy F. Daniel, Pauline Mark, Remy Rambungshan, and of course our own soca ambassador himself. You know him as Machel Montano. Now, Natalie plays Anita Panchori. She's the daughter of an Indian businessman who is currently residing in Trinidad and is currently in huge debt. She's on the verge of marrying a wealthy British suitor named Bharat Kumar until a chance encounter with a musician/songwriter by the name of Lee DeLeon changes her life. Now, with that being said, there were some things that I appreciated in the movie and there were other things that I didn't appreciate in the movie. Now, I was thoroughly impressed by the cinematography in this movie. I thought there were some great shots all throughout the movie. Also, I was impressed by the musical score as well too. The way how it managed to utilize a lot of soca music. Now, rarely have I seen a film where, soca music was this prevalent and this prominent. So I'm just really glad that there's a movie out there that really showcases and highlights our soca music. And I'm really hoping to see more films from Trinidad and Tobago that really showcase our musical talent. And on the subject of soundtrack, Machel's music is very prominent in this movie. A little too much, I find personally. I really felt that there could have been a little bit more collaboration from other musical artists. I mean, yes, we do hear Angela Hunt at some point in time. We also hear some guest vocals from Natalie Perera herself. But at the same time, it's really Machel's music that you're going to be hearing throughout this entire movie. And I do understand why it's like that. I mean, he is literally the musical backbone that supports this movie. But at the same time, like I said, it's just Machel. You're going to be hearing a lot. I know some viewers are going to be turned off by that or be annoyed by it. But, for me personally, I just wish that there were a few more musical collaborators in this movie. Also, with regards to the acting in the film, I thought it was, pretty decent for the most part. And, a lot of people have been asking themselves as soon as they saw Machel on screen, how is his performance? Was he great or did he suck? For me, I thought he was okay. I didn't really have that much complaints with his character and his performance. There were a few moments where he delivered some lines where, it's kind of like he just needed to probably do them again, maybe a few more takes to just really get that right moment. And that really happens during the more emotional moments of the film. I thought for the most part he was okay, Natalie Perera was fine as well too. I liked the chemistry that they had between Machel and Natalie's characters. I know some people might roll their eyes at the moments where they're together and they're singing and stuff. But, because of the whole suspension of disbelief thing, I just bought into it. I just, forgot about it, just let it roll, and I just had fun. And also props to the rest of the cast as well too. But there was one actress, she isn't credited in the, in the major cast, but she's just basically there as a background character. And I felt that because, she is so well renowned as an actress, I felt that, the film could have given her at least one moment to actually shine and really show how great of an actress she is, Now, if you're familiar with Bollywood movies, there's always these moments where a character would break out into song and then the character right next to them would, sing along with them, and then everybody would either sing or dance to that particular song. And we get a lot of those moments in this movie. And yes, all of them are centered on Machel. Machel just has this uncanny ability of starting a song, and then if Natalie's around, she's gonna sing, and then depending on who is around her or them, everyone is either gonna sing or dance to what's being sung. It's that kind of film, guys. So, you have to go in knowing that. And then going back to the title of the film itself, Bazodee. Basically, it means being disoriented, neither here or there, being a little stupefied. And to me, that's what the film really tried to express in terms of, those moments with Machel. And even he himself said, it's not reality, it's fantasy. And yes, those moments with Machel are clearly fantasy, This is like really a romanticized version of what Trinidad is. You come to Trinidad, you get sun, sea, and soca, but you could also fall in love, and your life will be changed forever. It's all about peace and harmony and love. It's that kind of thing that, is being marketed through this film as that thing that you get in this movie. But then there are these sort of what I call the realistic moments that, at first felt kind of contrived and a little dry and just really dull. But it's really in the second half where they started to pick up and started to really come together and make sense. So I really liked how it did that. But overall, I actually kind of enjoy this movie, you know? It's not the best local movie in the world, of course not, but I still had fun with it. I went in knowing what I was going to expect, which was, like I said, a musical romantic comedy, and I got that. Yes, it's not perfect. There are some glaring flaws, especially with its narrative. But other than that, I had fun with it. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed that overall, positive vibe that the movie was really trying to get across. But once again, suspension of disbelief. Don't buy into everything that you see. Just remember that this is a local Caribbean fantasy, and yeah, you're gonna have a good time with it. So for me, I give this a very light 3 out of 5 stars. I would recommend this to the most die-hard of Machel fans, but I know there are the Machel haters out there, but trust me, you're not really gonna get much out of it if you are. But if you're curious as to what we have in terms of local content, especially when it comes to feature films, I would recommend you go and check this out. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Bazodee. So did you guys see the film already? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Also, do you have any intentions on seeing it if you haven't? So, feel free to comment below and let me know. And also, do you think that this is a step up in terms of local feature film production? Or do you think that this is a step down? And on the subject of local feature films, we're gonna have our annual Trinidad Tobago Film Festival. It only runs for 1 week, which is from the 20th to the 27th of September. And there are actually 4 movies, 4 feature films I should say, that I'm really excited to check out. Sanskara, which is directed by Christopher Denchong, Tomb, which is directed by Nick Atten, The Cutlass, which is directed by Dorisha Beresford, and Play the Devil, which is directed by Maria Govan. So those are the 4 shows that I am psyched to see. So you could go on the TTFF website, check out their schedule, check out the screening times for those 4 films I mentioned. And yeah, go and check them out, man. Support local, come on. So once again, this is Matthew, and like a wise man once told me, what's the scene?